Today on the TMZ Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the TMZ Podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton and today I'm joined by Loren LoRosa.
Dynamic duo. Hello.
The dynamic duo. We're back again. We got 3 stories that involve various types of beef today.
Yes. It literally the exploding kind of ish right now. So if you guys see me on my phone, it's because we also have jobs here.
If you don't see me on my phone, it's because I don't really have a job here. This is it. YK Osiris planted an unwanted kiss on Sukihana. That's really blowing up right now.
Yes.
Kevin Costner, he can't get his ex-wife or his estranged wife to move out of the house. That she's just not moving out. And finally, Anita Baker and Babyface, they've been beefing all tour long. Well, she's just kicked him off the tour. But let's start let's start with YK Osiris.
Yes.
Because this is blowing up. This is a story you've been very involved with putting up on our website. So why don't you tell us about it, Loren?
So there was a clip that began circulating on Tuesday on social media. There's like these games that happen in Atlanta called the Crew League, where it's like kind of like celebrity basketball tournaments. Mm-hmm. They bring in celebrities and different like comedians, personalities to narrate. And the video, basically, you see Sukihana, who is female rapper, sitting in the middle of Lil Duval and Funny Marco. And YK Osiris, R&B singer, is off to the side. He walks in and literally starts massaging her. And you can tell in the video that she is, there's cameras everywhere. She's kind of like, and she has this social media personality where I think people were expecting this to kind of be like a skit or like, something like that. So she's trying to play it off. But you could tell she's very uncomfortable.
She's shocked.
She's like literally like, what the heck is going on? She's like cringing, trying to like get away from him. And then he grabs her face and goes in, open mouth kiss.
Yeah, the video's on our website if you want to take a look. But
every time I watch this, I would have punched. She better than me. I would have punched him.
But the guys around her, like Lil Duval and what is it, Funny Marco?
I don't know the guy at the end. How funny? I don't know the white guy.
They're kind of almost egging it on a bit. Doesn't Lil Duval tell him, YK Osiris, to slip in the tongue?
I think that, because we talked to sources familiar with the situation that were, there. And from what it looks like, and what you hear, yes. But from what I was told, no one knew what was happening. Suki does not know does not know YK Osiris. There's no previous relationship. But the people around her didn't know that. They didn't know if this was a skit. This was something that was planned. Okay. They had no idea. Everybody was like, what the heck is going on? But the cameras are live, so everyone's trying to play it off as if this is something that was supposed to happen.
Why would he do that? What?
I have no clue. And I want to.
He was trying to be funny or something. Like, what? Why? Would
I have no clue. We've reached out to YK Osiris's team and haven't heard back yet. I'll preface this with saying that, as journalists, when you look at something like this, you really have to just straight down the middle report on what you're seeing and what's happening. So, we haven't speaking to YK Osiris for him to be able to explain himself or anyone from his side of things. But as a woman watching this, I'm ready, bro, what? I literally would punch him in the face.
Even as a man.
I'm glad you said that because there are people online. There are a lot of people online, women and men, but I feel like I'm hearing it and seeing it most from men. Suki raps about, she's a pussy rap girl. She raps a lot about, sex, and it's very, sexually explicit, and it's, you know what I mean? It's very vulgar. It gets the people going. She has a song called Eating His Ass.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Yes.
Wow.
And she's known even in her skits for being very vulgar, very sexually explicit, whatever. People.
So that makes some men think that there's license to do something like this. Then.
And again, I can't speak for YK Osiris and say that because of all of that he thought that was okay. I don't know what we're watching here and why, but I will say there are people online that are arguing for him, saying, well, you get back what you put out. That's what you rap about. That's what you talk about. That's so unfair. That pisses me off.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It does. It really pisses me off, especially because it's in 2023. I feel like we should be able to I don't know. We should be able to do what we want to do, where we want to whatever, guy, girl, however you identify, and not feel like you'll get violated because of
100%. I don't know if she's going to press charges or because it's on tape like that. I don't know if there's maybe a criminal thing that's going to come. There should be, because he definitely did not have her consent. He definitely, that's sexual assault, what he did. And, Jackson Mahomes, the brother of Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback, isn't he in a court case right now for doing something kind of. He went up to some girl and kissed her on the mouth unwanted as well, and he's being like,
yeah, you can't do that.
You
Like, you
can't do
can't
that.
even walk up to someone and just like touch them in the wrong place. So putting your, you know what I mean, grabbing her face, putting your mouth. First of all, just in the like germs. Like, it's just like, why would you just want to just randomly do that? Like,
right. I don't even like shaking hands with people anymore.
And you want to put your tongue down someone's throat, like you literally don't know her. And I think another thing too is I hate this for Suki because she's like one of those girls that's like starting to rise right now musically and personality wise. And I know this has to be a tough position for her. She's really big on like, you know, like I want to protect Black women, Black men.
Right.
So now she's in a position where like this is something that could be very damaging to YK's career. He's been, you know, in these conversations about, you know, sexual assault prior to, which I don't know. It's just not a good look for him. And then I know it puts her in a position where, like, you know, she's personally violated. That's emotional. That's very mentally, you know. And then now she's a personality. People wanted to talk about it and speak about it. And it's like, where do you go from here?
Well, hopefully she could use something like this and find the positive out of it because, I mean, she's introduced to a new audience right now because of this big story and she can talk about this sort of stuff and like, I don't know, hopefully she can sort of arm herself with, like, I'd never heard of her before this.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's unfortunate because she's on her way up and a lot of people have never heard of her and this is the first thing.
You don't want this to be your introduction.
She's going to have to keep re-explaining this and basically keep reliving this, right? Regardless of how her and YK like reconcile or not behind the scenes, she has to publicly relive this a lot because this is the first time so many people are meeting her.
Right.
And I just hate that for her. And I mean, I did for YK as well because the sexual assault charges that I know of, they didn't stick. Right. So
well, this one's on tape. So.
Yeah, but right, and you put yourself back in this corner. It's like, why would you even do that to yourself? And
ridiculous. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
For sure.
On to our next story. Kevin Costner, he's going through like a bit of a messy divorce with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
They've had beef for a while now. It impacted him on the Yellowstone set. She filed for divorce from him, but now she won't leave the family home, which he owns.
I love it.
Oh, you love it?
Petty boots, yes.
Oh, you love the petty play like that, don't you?
I do.
Burn his stuff, burn his stuff.
No, we're not going to burn it. We're going to bleach it. I don't got time for my house to burn down.
Right. As part of the prenup, he apparently kept the houses, but in the prenup as well, it said she has 30 days to move out after the prenup is filed, which the divorce papers were filed, which I think was like over a month ago, and she had the month. So he's saying, he's taking her to court now saying, get this woman out of my house.
And she's already gotten like over $1.2 million because of the prenup, and she won't leave the house. And she's the one who filed for the divorce. So it's kind of like
that nearly 1.5 million. That's not even part of a divorce settlement. That's
just for the prenup.
That's to say, go find another house. Here's $1.5 million. Go find another house.
That's why I love it. I just do. I don't know, something about women getting under the skin of men,
right? And
just turning the nail. Okay. It just, I don't know. It's like a fresh bed of roses. It just. Hello. It's like the sun coming up. I can
understand that. I mean, she married one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, and then he's only gotten bigger.
But I wonder what happened, because
there's messiness that we don't know about.
We've heard there's been reports about a lot of different things, nothing confirmed. However, but to me, when I hear this, I hear it's giving bitter baby mama, like she.
Bitter baby mama?
Yeah, you don't know that either?
Bitter baby mama. Explain.
So basically it's like, all right, something happened where she's upset. Yes, she should move on. She called a divorce, so she wants to move on, but at the same time, she's so hurt, she wants to put you through hell.
Right.
So you guys can't be together. It's not going to work out, but because of something that didn't go right, normally in a bitter baby mom situation, it's you guys don't stay together to raise a kid. Now you locked in hell for life, 18 years. There's no, not the kid
have you heard that? Have you heard that saying? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Yes.
Man, ain't that the facts?
I agree, but I will say, and I think this is why I enjoy when women get under men's skin and just do stuff like this, because a man that's in his feelings, oh baby, y'all are 50 times worse. What
do you mean? I don't think we'd like not leave the house and sort of like, I don't think we're big babies in a way. You know what I mean?
You honestly believe that about yourself?
About myself, yeah. But I mean...
You hesitated before you answered it. You don't believe that.
I'm not sure.
A man scorned is like literally dealing with like your landlord on the 5th of the month. Like you just like
That's a different saying.
like
It doesn't
just
have the same ring
you
to it.
ducking and dodging the whole time because you just don't know where it's coming from because y'all just erupt so much and then it's like, no, I'm cool, I'm a man, I got it, and then it's like, no, I'm not, I hate you.
Oh wow, this is a deeply personal place. I feel like
It is.
you just got to find the right one because if you go through something like this, and Kim and Croy from Real Housewives, it just always reminds you that, man, you better pick the right one.
Yeah, I mean, but as long as you don't have kids, like you can get a divorce and move on.
Okay, what happens if you have kids though?
I mean,
Ugh,
bitter baby mama
Oh,
situations.
that's terrible.
Or bitter baby daddy.
Kevin's saying that she's staying in the house as some sort of leverage financially. Like she just wants more.
I'm trying to tell you, that man did something. There's something that was done where she's like, you got to pay like you weigh. It was cheaper to keep me. You ain't do that. So what's up?
There's no evidence of that. There's only evidence of her like sticking in her heels and wanting more money.
So we, as a fact, as a journalist, no, I don't have evidence of that. As a woman who has been petty and who can run it up, I know. I'm telling you right now. Why? If you divorce someone, why would you keep yourself in that weird space? Unless
greedy. She's greedy. She wants more.
Exactly. But why does she feel so entitled?
Because sometimes girls do.
It's not just us. I feel like entitlement comes from something. So it comes from broken promises. Like a lot of times it comes from like, hey, I thought that this was going to be this way, and because it wasn't, now you owe me.
She filed.
You've heard it's cheaper to keep her, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? When you do a prenup, it's basically a contract that you're going into before the marriage, right?
Uh-huh.
You know the terms of that contract. She filed. She knew she was getting her money on the back end, so sis collected her back end. Now she trying to re-up on the front end too. I'm not mad at her.
Wow.
You put me through hell, you got to pay.
Oh my God. I'm learning a lot today. This is really good. I'm learning a lot.
You don't have $1.2 million, so you don't got to worry about that.
No, I don't. I don't have anything I can give. On to our last story. It's another very beefy story because Anita Baker and Babyface, they've been on tour together. As part of the Songstress Tour.
Yes.
And she's just kicked him off the tour because they were fighting over who got more, time on stage. And he was her opening act, and he was taking too long sometimes, like, extra 5 minutes here, extra 15 minutes here. Then it cuts into her time, apparently, because she can't go past the curfew, so she kicked him off the tour.
Okay, so I feel like in the beginning of this, when we reported on it and, we had talked to Babyface and he gave us a statement that said, hey, look, I love Anita Baker. Basically, like, she's a legend. I would never want to throw any shade or cause any issues her way because he put up that post on Instagram, which was like low-key kind of shady. Now looking at this, I don't know if I would say they were fighting over time or more so these are two big stars who both feel like they should be prioritized and rightfully so. And it just didn't work out. Like sometimes things mesh well, sometimes they don't. What I don't like about this, but it's also kind of entertaining, is the fact that it played out so publicly because Anita Baker went on Twitter and just started going off.
How old is she?
I think she's like 65. I know she's over 60. Don't quote me. I think yesterday when we looked it up, she was like 65. If I'm aging you, I'm so sorry.
Right.
Don't come for me on Twitter. If you do, at me though.
Yeah, I mean, she really went off at him and his fans. She calls them Kenny's crazies.
Which is his real name.
His real name's Kenny. Kenny's crazies. She's like, they're sending me threats. They're sending me this. She sends out all of these tweets which have weird like capitalizations and grammar. Like they're weirdly written.
No, one of the things I love that she does in her tweets, she keeps calling him the supporting act.
Right.
And I'm like, it's Babyface though. But like,
who's bigger out of those two?
I feel like Anita Baker, to me, is bigger, more legendary, but Babyface is more culturally, like, he's more relevant right now. He's like, the younger, I mean, I don't even know, because I feel like, I was going to say the younger crowd would, like, identify Babyface before Anita Baker, but if your auntie and your mom clean your house on Sunday, you know Anita Baker. Like, that's what we do on Sundays, is Anita Baker and clean. So, I don't know. I would say Babyface, though, as far as, like, relevance right now. It's like the Jay-Z Future conversation, like, who's more known in the club. Like, Anita Baker is, to me, bigger, but Babyface is...
But because there's this debate, like, who is bigger, it's kind of hard to tell. Maybe that's kind of what set them off, because they both have their own opinions.
I mean, Babyface has been, from what we could see online, he's handled this very, like, cool, like
He's
a class
taken the
act.
high road.
Yeah, I do think that, you know, in the beginning when he posted his first Instagram post, which made it seem like she was just being a diva, people were coming for her in the comments. And then now people are still coming for her on Twitter. And she's framing it like, basically like, I'm a black woman, I'm an elder, I'm older to you, and you should be protecting me. You should be calling these people off. And there's always that conversation about like protect black women. But at the same time,
you can't call off like a Twitter mob.
and he also, I mean, that shady post happened, but he did come back and say, hey, I didn't mean it that way, whatever. He's not making people go on Twitter and go and find her. His fans were just upset. And she has this, I hate to do this to women, but you have to talk about the fact that there is this like background with Anita Baker where people feel like we know all these stories about how much she's a diva and people don't like her, whatever. So people just buy into that instantly and they want to not like her.
Is this not proof of that though? Everything that's transpired, like, I didn't know much. I didn't know about this diva stuff beforehand. I'm just an idiot Australian, you know?
Yeah,
and
I
now
know.
this is kind of a bit of my introduction to who she is. And I'm going, diva alert.
See, but I hate that because she's so much more than that. Anita Baker is like the soundtrack to my mom's life, my grandmother.
But
Like,
you
know
can
what I
be
mean?
both things. It doesn't, like Mariah Carey, diva, but also amazing music. It doesn't really.
Yeah, but one always precedes the other, and I feel like Anita Baker's diva in that conversation is different than Mariah Carey in the glam diva. This is like Anita Baker is a bitch. I'm so sorry to have to say that, but it's different. I hate that. But I will say though that like, I don't know, like I want them to like figure this out because it's just so sad to watch online.
It's too late.
These
now.
are your elders. Like at my house, oh, Anita Baker could jump off the bridge and land right on you. You better lay down and let her walk all over you. Like it's just, that's just how it goes with your elders. Like you just.
But Babyface is an elder too then, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But I don't know why, because they're close in age. Anita Baker just feels a lot older, more senior to him.
That's a diss.
No, it's not. It's just because I think, and I don't know, I can't describe it musically, like why she just feels like a different time.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how many of the fans ask for refunds because
They're upset.
They're upset, and it'll be obvious then, you know, whose side the ticket holders were on. Were you there to see Babyface? Were you there to see Anita Baker? She said you can have a refund if you want. Would you be asking for a refund? Because you get half the show now.
No, I would still go. And I'm going to still play my Anita Baker and cook on Sundays and clean my house.
Is that because Baker? Is that why you cook?
No, it's just like black Anita Baker Sundays.
Gotcha.
Those things just go together.
Well, thank you very much for more education, Loren.
Every single time.
Yeah, I know. That's why I have you on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you here back tomorrow.
See you soon.